Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Front Office Report. I am back again with my Thursday night lads.
Thursday
Daniel,
night, yes.
Gabriel. It's becoming a fixture, this.
I know.
It's been very lucky that I keep having Fridays off. I'm not off next
Yeah,
Friday, which
exactly.
is quite sad.
Oh,
I'm not off, so I'm not sure. I might have to. Yeah, let's work. We'll work something out.
Thursday's
How are you
like the
boys doing?
start of the weekend for me now. Like I have started my weekend.
Honestly, yeah.
I've got one more day of work, but like today is officially the weekend for me because NFL is
Because
on. So
Thursday night football is on.
yeah. So the
Oh,
week's
yeah.
really short. It's like my week is now only Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's it. And I've got from Thursday onwards, Thursday to Monday, football. So
You've got football all weekend, yeah.
yeah,
Happy
either
days.
college football, NFL, or soccer football. So it's good.
Happy days. Yeah, how you both doing? You okay?
Good, excited for another banger of a Thursday game. Looks like
I
the
think I feel
scheduling is a little weird, huh?
I feel this game may be slightly better though. Like at least we have two exciting young quarterbacks. We have a few nice like skill position players in the mix. I think the last couple of weeks I think have been but I think this could be all right.
Are you saying that Davis Mills is not an exciting young quarterback?
Davis Mills has done very well to get to the NFL, and I congratulate him for that.
Exactly.
And we will leave it at that. Before we go into, are we going to say something there, Gabo?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that we're watching a team in the Bengals that are finally not the worst team in the AFC North. Am I
Very
right?
much so. Very much so.
We'll get to that soon enough.
We will. We will. As we've done for the last couple of 3 weeks, we're going to start with our NFL tier lists. We're going to go through, as we did last week, update, move things around, shuffle as we need to. Let's get the Vikings back up a little bit, boys. And then we're going to go on to tonight's game, Jags against Bengals. We're going to have a little chat about maybe some bets because we are now a betting account. Because why not? Because we love throwing money away, and we would love to help you throw your money away as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to some bets for this evening, and then maybe a little bit of fantasy because I've got a potential blockbuster trade that might be going down in our league. That I think you guys may have tried to trade for potentially some of the players that I might end up getting. So we'll have a little discussion about that as well. But anyway, let's start with the tiers. Do we want to? Oh, you go ahead.
Let's do this. How about let's start with the trash of the week. Let's just put down that team down the trash. Sadly, I mean, Jets can very well stay there, but there are other few teams that are not looking pretty.
Yeah, it might be the Jets again. You know, I mean they didn't score. So I think anytime you don't score, you've got to be in contention for the trash of the week. Is there anyone else you would suggest, Dan, maybe for your trash?
No, I think if we're sticking to one team, then I think we have to do the Jets. There's not really another option. Yeah. Is there another option? I don't think so.
The only other one that I would maybe throw in there was the Bears, who were pretty awful, and I think didn't they end up with like 61 yards of total offense or something like that? Something horrendous.
Yeah, but not as bad as the Jets, you know. So
I think they at least got 6 points. Yep. I think the Jets might have to stay there, you know. Unfortunately for those Jets fans, they are trash of the week again. I mean, we could briefly talk about the Jets. But I don't really know if there's anything. Yeah, there's anything worth mentioning about them.
Yeah, until they start scoring, I don't think there's anything we really need to say that we haven't said previously.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel a little bit for Zach Wilson. He at least had over 50% completions, but I mean, again, his weapons are not really much to write home about. Yeah, it's just being a Jets fan at the minute is not a good time. Yeah, and I think they're in for a bit of a long season.
Being part of the quarterback offense in Jets is any indication of progress. It would be, stick around a few years and then you'll be dumped into a team and maybe you get a chance. Like look at Sam Darnold. He's stepping up with Carolina. So hey, at least there's that. Get some exposure in a very with in a team where you're not really expected to do much anyway. Um, but 4 interceptions per game, kind of
Not
doesn't really
fantastic.
help.
No.
But yeah, where do you guys want to start? Do you guys want to keep it the same, or do you guys want to keep it interesting?
Go from
and start at the top?
bottom to top. I think.
Bottom to top.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at these 5 teams. Any particular spots you guys want to start in?
I want to move the Falcons up a tiny bit and move the Giants quite a little bit further down. The Falcons did win, so we can't keep them there, and we can't keep the Giants up there because they did lose. Where we put them is another question.
I mean, how is the? Yeah, I think it's a matter of picking what's the worst team here. I hate to say it, but Texans with Davis Mills, weren't too pretty. But I'm just thinking it off of Lions put up a good game against the Ravens. Jags initially put up a good game against the Cardinals, then just got steamed. And like you said, Falcons went above and beyond. I mean, not above and beyond. Sorry, went above the Giants there. Unless you want to drop the Giants that much, I would maybe put bottom 2 as Texans and Giants there, and move every other team one spot up.
I think I could probably get on board with that. I think the Lions definitely deserve some props for the fight they did put up there, considering Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are supposedly, as we have them, championship contenders. They deserve some props for that.
We'll get to the Ravens,
but we will get to the Ravens. That may be changing. But yeah, no, I think that whilst Houston are starting Davis Mills, they're not going to get it done.
I mean, I'm optimistic. I don't know if Dan, you want to?
I was going to say what's your thoughts on Davis?
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Well, let me put it this way: he is playing better than a first-round pick in Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, and Trevor Lawrence. So Davis Mills is kind of a bit of a joke because he's on a joke team. But if you look at his stats, he's clearly better than quite a few quarterbacks who are getting free passes at the moment because they're supposed to be, rookie quarterbacks. Davis Mills is the same. He's a third-round quarterback that's come out of a smaller school than Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. So,
I think this is the thing. It's because he wasn't a big name that was mentioned on the first day of the draft that people automatically write him off. Yeah,
he's doing better than most. He kept the Texans in a relatively close game for most of it, especially when Christian McCaffrey kind of left. The Texans were in the game against a 3-0 team. Let's not forget, Carolina Panthers at the beginning of the season, we might have thought they were pretty bad, but they're 3-0. They're one of the very few teams that are left undefeated. So I wouldn't drop the Texans that too much further than what they are. The Jags suck. They have not won a game. There's nothing really good about them. So I think moving the Falcons ahead of the Jags, and then the Lions ahead of the Texans, and then the Giants, I think, have to move down as well. Yeah, I'd probably put it something close to that.
I think it's just whether we put that. I think so. Yeah, because I do think the Giants have still shown. Barkley. He looks like he's on his way back.
Right.
Danny Dimes has had flashes this season, although he's still not consistent. But I think he's got more of a case to be made than Davis Mills in his burgeoning career.
Yeah. I think we'll see this kind of Gross thing play out as we go throughout the season, because the Texans do have to play the Jags twice. So we kind of will see how we rank those teams a lot better than we're currently viewing them, because none of these teams have played each other. I mean, apart from the Giants and the Falcons, we haven't really seen anything else, and that game was a 1-point game. It was very, very close. Last second, it was a field goal they scored, the Falcons. It was a tight game. Lions are surprisingly good, but they've had a really hard start. So it's hard putting any of these teams anywhere else.
I think that's something we should actually bring up, is that the Lions have definitely been better than I estimated that they were going to be. I think a lot of people, especially with the trade for Goff, had sort of written the team off. But they've actually performed pretty admirably. They're putting up a lot of fight in their games. They're definitely doing better than I thought they would. So I don't think you can ignore that. I think they deserve the props for that.
Yeah, I think based on the results of the Lions games, I'd rather be a Jets fan than a Lions fan. The way the Lions have lost their last 3 games is very sad. You know, an ultimate comeback with the 49ers, so close, like yet so far. Then, a massive great start against the Packers, and then just get steamrolled in the second half.
Absolutely battered, yeah.
And then Justin Tucker has a freaking NFL record on you. Like,
that's gut wrenching, absolutely gut wrenching, yeah.
So if we're talking about kind of like the future, right now I have like the predicted NFL rest of season strength of schedule. Jacksonville have the 5th easiest schedule in the whole of the league. The Jets have the 6th easiest. Houston have the 10th. Atlanta have the 12th. Let me scroll down. Detroit have 24th, which is pretty hard, and then the Giants have the hardest schedule. So it's kind of weird that we have 3 teams in the green, kind of like the easiest they could possibly be almost, and then you have the Giants and the Detroit Lions, who are just going to be grinding against really difficult teams. I mean, the Giants have Dallas, Rams, Carolina, Kansas City, and Vegas all in a row before having a bye week and coming back to Tampa Bay. So that's like just unbelievably difficult when you compare it to the Jets. They have Tennessee, which is pretty hard, but then they have Atlanta, New England, Cincinnati, Indiana. It's a lot easier.
There would be some winnable games in there, I think.
Yes. I don't think the Jets will win any of those games.
No, I think they'll probably still lose all of them. Yeah.
Possibly Atlanta, but Atlanta have the weapons to be a very good team, just are not a good team. Yeah. It's weird. It's a very weird team. So
what was the easiest?
The easiest schedule is the Buffalo Bills. They have the easiest schedule remaining, followed by Miami, then the Bucks, and the Titans.
Interesting from a fantasy standpoint as well.
Yeah,
might have to be looking that up.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, should we move up to our next tier up? Bad-ish. Dan, any particular team you want to start with, or take it from the bottom?
So much movement here.
We can. I think we have to move the Panthers up. They're 3-0.
I think we have to move the Panthers up, the Bengals up, the Eagles have to go down.
Yeah.
Broncos have had an easy start, but we should give them credit where credit is due.
I'd be happy putting the Bengals in sort of underdog contender bottom.
I like that.
I think the Panthers might have to go in as well.
I would like to see one more week, just one more week of the Panthers.
Because I just think, again, if we're looking at record though, Bengals are what now, 2-1? They're not 3-0 as well, are they?
Who? Sorry, the Bengals. No, they lost their first game, right?
Against you guys.
No,
they beat us. They beat you guys.
They beat us, unfortunately. Yeah.
They lost against the Bears.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't want to, I'm down to move Carolina up here because they are a better team of all these. I just don't feel comfortable with Christian McCaffrey out. I know he's not in IR,
True.
But with McCaffrey out, I don't want to just bump him all up. I'm kind of happy, and I'm kind of very interested to see what Sam Darnold can do. I think it's a very streamable quarterback now. And without CMC, they're definitely going to run it less. But I'm hoping Chuba Hubbard? Chuba Hubbard has a terrible game because I hate it when these happens and they pick them all up and then they explode, kind of like the whole Madison handcuff issue. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But
I think if we're not moving the upper tier, I think they have to be the top of that tier because again, 3-0, you have to give them some credit. They've looked pretty impressive. Again, I think who have they got coming up this week? I can't remember. I feel as though it's a more difficult team for them this week. Was it Cowboys?
Who are you talking about? Sorry.
Panthers.
Panthers
Cowboys. So I
Cowboys,
think
yeah.
Dallas.
that's a good test for them. I think, yeah, as you said, give them one more week. Let's see how they do against what should be a playoff team away. Dak and Zeke look to be heating up a little bit, so I think that will be a good test to see if they've actually got some credentials or if they are, not quite there.
Yeah, I agree.
I
would like
Eagles.
to. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, I was just going to say, Gabba, did you say you wanted to move the Eagles down?
Yeah, the Eagles looked atrocious. The Patriots looked atrocious. It wouldn't be look. The Dolphins is kind of like it's a weird one because I'm not a fan of a Jacoby Brissett led offense, but they gave Dan and I a bit of a heart attack.
Just a little bit.
Nights. So I don't know if I'd put I don't know if I'd do this, but it just seems like we should bring the Broncos up.
I'd put the Dolphins below the Patriots, though.
The Patriots?
Personally,
Okay.
yeah.
I like that.
that.
And
yeah.
Eagles just looked atrocious.
Yeah, the Eagles were not good.
Absolutely horrible.
I've always had a qualm with the Alabama quarterbacks of that year, Tua and Jalen Hurts. I just never believed in them. They haven't come out firing. I know Jalen Hurts is technically not a rookie, but he really is in terms of games played. So there is that factor. But at the same time, there's supposed to be all this hype around him, and he's turned out not to be that great. And also,
it's tough because he put up yards, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, but then you have the 2 interceptions, so
which were really bad.
Yeah.
And also, I apparently this is according to one of the NFL insiders for Fox, said that the owner of the Eagles has given the green light to trade Deshaun Watson to the Eagles. It looks like he's kind of lost faith in time's ticking, and we don't really have enough time for Jalen Hurts to become.
I did not see that the Eagles had entered the chat for Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
Okay,
which is funny because it's both the Dolphins and the Eagles. I don't know. I'd rather live in Miami than Philadelphia, that's for sure. But
as a dynasty Deshaun Watson fantasy owner, I am just waiting for the day that he gets traded because my God, I want to be starting that man.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins would be a better fit than the Eagles too.
I agree.
Also, I can play with Will Fuller again.
Is Will Fuller okay? I hate to laugh on someone's injury, but I know I tuned in for the Dolphins game for 1 second and I saw Will Fuller down and I was like,
no, he's fine.
Well,
he's okay.
Yeah.
He has no injury designation, I believe. So you'll have another 2 or 3 weeks again before having another scare, I'm sure. So yeah.
All right, shall we move on here?
Yeah, we didn't really touch on the Saints as well. A touchdown a quarter looked fairly solid. Jameis sort of didn't really do a whole lot, but they got the job done. Alvin Kamara with a receiving touchdown. Patriots again not looking great.
I just don't know what to expect from this team.
Yeah.
The Saints.
I really don't. Yeah, the Saints.
Yeah. I think again Jameis is just hella confusing. Such an odd dude, and you go from that week 1 performance where he was just slinging it all over the place, and then he does barely anything, and he's throwing picks. I think they are going to be stuck in that badish category for quite a while just because of him. I don't know what they're going to do long term because he's not the solution long term. I don't know whether their plan is just to sort of suck this year and go for a quarterback in next year's draft, but they can't have him long term. But yeah, we'll leave that category as it is even. The Bengals, we moved up. Anything you wanted to say about the Bears, the Colts, or Washington football team, Gabbo?
Bears suck.
The Bears do suck, yes.
Colts, I would definitely put the Colts ahead of the Bears.
I'd be tempted to say the Bears have to go to the bottom of that tier.
I think they did beat Cincinnati, but that was with Andy Dalton. And until we see something from Justin Fields, I just don't know. And the fact that they're talking they're not even sure that Justin Fields is gonna play, that they might put Nick Foles, it's just a mess.
Yeah. There's been a lot of calls for Matt Nagy's job to be under scrutiny this week from Chicago Bears fans. What would you say to that, Dan?
I agree. He is the reason that they stink. Really, really sucks. And I've like I said in the last episode, I have quite a few friends who are Chicago Bear fans, and it's like not Deshaun Watson, Justin Field is not the issue. It's Matt Nagy. Like, you're playing. Andy Dalton is a completely different quarterback to Justin Fields, but you're playing Andy Dalton style plays for Justin Fields. Andy Dalton gets the ball out quickly, has less than a second in the pocket before getting rid of the ball. Justin Fields is very much like a hold. You defend him, he throws the ball long or scrambles out the pocket. He just had no time. I think they said tight ends were only used on blocking for 17% of plays. So you had no blocking. Justin Fields had no time. It just made zero sense what was happening. You could see the success he had in college. That doesn't always translate for sure, but this was just an absolute mess by Matt Nagy, and apparently he tries to take over the role of calling plays and such. So,
oh my god,
it is all him. I would honestly leave everything in that row exactly as it is. One bad game for the Bears doesn't change too much for me. I like to see them kind of like go another week. The Colts lost, Washington lost. The Bengals were the only ones that won, and we moved them up anyway. So I just wouldn't change anything else here because the Washington football team got blown out. The Colts hung around a little bit, but were not really ever too much of a threat to Tennessee Titans. So I just wouldn't move it too much. I know Chicago sucked really, really bad, and if they suck again, then of course we can move them. But I think I just had I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it just looks like a confused team. So based on that and the fact I did watch the Colts Titans game, like it was actually pretty close. It was very back and forth. And I will give. It sucks for the Colts. Started 0-3. They had a tough schedule, but I just saw nothing from the Bears. And the fact that they don't even know who to start as a quarterback, it's I get it. It's one bad game, but it's also a bad game where they're gonna change. They might change the quarterback again. So it's like
the outlook just is very murky. I feel for the Bears.
yeah.
I
would put them up, but it's up to you, Seb. You're the deciding vote.
You would put them down, do you mean?
Sorry, above the Bears, like this.
Oh, the Colts. Yeah, sorry. When you said you'd put them up, I thought you meant the Bears. I was like, no, we're not putting the Bears up. No,
Yeah.
I think I agree. I think we have to drop them at least one place. I think. I was listening to a Vikings podcast yesterday or today. Who the guy actually said he almost feels a little bit bad for Justin Fields. Of course, Vikings fans do not want to see the Chicago Bears do well, but Justin Fields has landed in a pretty awful situation of a football team, one that doesn't really seem to know what it's doing. The head coach doesn't really know what he's doing. It's the kind of situation where you could potentially see Justin Fields' career very much sent in a very different direction to what he could have been if he just spends the whole year, if he plays, just getting sacked 8 times a game. I mean, yeah, they need to do something because, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. They're not great, but they're not that bad. But yeah, we'll leave the rest of it as it is. We'll move up to our good challengers, where I think we will have a little bit more movement from this tier. Is there anyone you want to start with, Gabo?
Okay. Let's start from the bottom. Vikings beat the Seahawks by quite a bit. Chargers had a fantastic game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I'm more than inclined to bring these two teams up above these two teams. I think the 49ers, I think Dan can agree with me. They looked like garbage.
Yeah, they looked poor.
First half was just non-existent with the Packers. Sure, they had a good comeback, and Jimmy G woke up, and they started using Brandon Ayuk. Let's go. But
nice little visitor.
It's just you're not supposed to put yourself in that position, especially not at home. It was their game to win, and they just
didn't.
They didn't. I mean, they let Aaron Rodgers, my boy, with 37 seconds left, just gain 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, you just knew. You just knew that he was going to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Davante Adams is a beast. But anyway, we'll get to that. But to me, there's, Raiders are still doing well. Cowboys, I think they should be bumped definitely ahead of the Steelers. Steelers, we'll get to that, but to me they looked atrocious as well. It sucks because I know we keep talking to Dan about it, and it's a team that has a lot of potential, just a terrible quarterback right now. So those are my thoughts. Where do you guys want to start? I mean, I see 3 teams that we need to kind of bring down. How much? I'll leave it up to you guys.
Dan?
Yeah, we can move. Let's just start with Minnesota since they're at the very bottom, and we can kind of work our way from right to left. I'd put them all the way up to the top, to be honest with you. I put them to the top.
Okay. The Cowboys and the Raiders?
Well, we haven't got to the Cowboys or Raiders yet.
Oh, okay. Do you mean the top of
top of
I
that?
see what he means. So he's gonna go one by one, and then we'll adjust.
Okay. I thought you meant like right.
No, not to the top.
Let's start there.
No.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yes.
What about the Chargers? I like
think
this
you.
team.
They played really well. They played really well.
Like this team. I know Dan didn't last week, but they had a pretty darn perfect game against the Chiefs. So I would put them ahead of the Vikings. They were already ahead of the Vikings, and they just beat the Chiefs. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be ahead of the Vikings. But what do you guys think?
I'm gonna have my unbiased hat on here. I think you have to give them the credit they deserve for a fantastic performance. I think they probably, as I said, they were above us before this week. I think you probably have to leave them above. I was really pleased with the Vikings' performance, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Kirk Cousins. If we'd won our first 3 games, like how close they had been, if we were 3-0 right now, Kirk Cousins would be getting dark horse MVP shouts, and he's been mad good so far this season. But I think you have to give Chargers a little bonus there.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I'd put the Chargers at the top for now. Yeah, I'd put them there. Let's leave San Francisco where they are. I don't think we should put them underdog yet. Let's wait and see what happens with them. Seahawks, I put them. I don't know.
I leave them where they are. I still. We'll see. This matchup happens this week. Seahawks.
It does,
49ers. Yeah. So we'll figure that one when
change
it
things.
comes.
Yeah.
But I do think the offense of the Seahawks is just far superior than the 49ers. So, but again, not even. I mean, I have the defense for 49ers in my big money league for work, and I'm dropping them tomorrow.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'd be looking at other options.
I'm sick of it. Their schedule is horrible. I don't know why I stuck through them with the Packers. They have the Seahawks now, then they have the Cowboys, then they have a bye week. So I'm like, no thanks.
Who are you going with instead? Just out of curiosity.
Cowboys. I'm picking up with the Cowboys at home. I want to once we get to the Cowboys, but this team looks scary at home. The Cowboys.
We'll come back to them. Yeah. Actually, it's Cowboys now. Go on. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Why not?
Yes. I mean, are we okay with leaving the Seahawks there?
I'm happy leaving them there. Yeah.
You good, Dan?
Yep, that's good with me.
Cool. So Cowboys. This is an interesting team because I think they are definitely a scary team to play at home. It was the first time since COVID that they had gone. They had played at home, full stadium. It was crazy. I know Dan and I later on watched Tim the Tatman play some Warzone with Ezekiel Elliott in the screen, which is pretty dope. I hate him because I ain't him. But but back to the Cowboys. I think they are a fantastic team. I think they definitely have, like you said, a playoff team. They're definitely winning that division. Personally, I mean, they did beat the Chargers. I personally wouldn't for now put this team at the head of good challenger, unless we take a look into putting it as a conference contender because they are winning their division for sure. But it's up to you guys. It really depends on our talk with the Raiders as well. But I think
that was what I was going to say. I think we have to maybe skip to the Raiders because again, they also looked very impressive. One of the few teams left again that are 3-0. I personally think that they have to either be. They're 3-0, aren't they? Am I chatting?
No, yeah, it's just that they didn't look impressed for the first like 10 minutes or 5 minutes of that game. That was horrible. But
No,
they did come
got
back. I
got
mean,
the dub. The dub
yeah.
is all that matters. I think Derek Carr has continued to look good.
Yeah.
He again, if the Raiders keep going, is he going to get MVP shouts? Like this is a
He's
new Derek Carr.
he's leader in pass rush in pass yards, no?
I think he is. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, if anything, I would say we maybe have to put the Raiders the top of that bracket, or if not,
That face like they
I
cost
feel Dan. I feel
500
Dan is
pounds.
disagreeing.
I don't want this.
What do you think, Dan?
No, I would leave them. I put them above the Vikings, but not the top of that. No, they sucked at the beginning. They sucked at the end. They gave up a touchdown with 1 minute to go, and then allowed a 2-point conversion to let it go to overtime against a really crap team. Let's not forget, like, they've beaten a really bad Steelers quarterback through defense. They nearly lost to the Ravens last second. They managed to win, and again in overtime against the Dolphins. Like, this team is going to be slowing down at some point because they're using so much energy trying to win these games. I just don't think they're that good. I don't think they are as good as the Chargers or as the Vikings or the Dallas Cowboys or anyone that's above them. I think you're right, Derek Carr could be MVP. He has not got nearly as good a team as any of these other quarterbacks do, but I just don't believe in this team, even though they have won all the games. They've just been very iffy games and very unimpressive wins. If you're looking at a 3-0 team,
I agree with that. With that in mind, would you put the Cowboys ahead of the Chargers?
absolutely yes. They beat them, so they have to be.
Thank you. You can.
When it eventually does it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. And then I would drop the Steelers to the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, to the bottom.
Yeah, you
Not
have
impressed
to.
with your Steelers, are you, Dan?
You have to. They're, like I say every week, like, fantastic team, but the quarterback just sucks. I want him to be like.
Oh, that was
unable to play.
the best clip from this weekend. Was that one of Ben like rolling out? He threw this terrible throw and then just face plants the floor. Like,
that just
my
kind of like shows you his lack of mobility, that he can't even
God.
like take 3 steps back and like throw the ball.
That that was amazing. So good.
Yeah, no, it sucks. I mean, Najee Harris, I don't know what I said.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris has he's a Derrick Henry 2.0. So I'm loving it. I'm feasting on it. I have Derrick Henry and Najee Harris in my money league, in my work league, so I'm super ecstatic. But it's time for a QB change, and I still don't think that this guy's name. I'm missing out. Quarterback.
Dwayne Haskins, Mason Rudolph.
Yes, Haskins. I still don't think that's the answer.
Nah, he ain't the answer.
But yeah, no, this
Ben
team
is
doesn't
Ben
look.
Roethlisberger. I'll tell you that much. There's no, you can't play.
That is
You can't
true,
play
yeah.
worse. You can't. He
Now
sucks.
here's my extra piece of my take. I don't think they are a good challenger anymore. They're bottom of their division.
It's week 3.
It's just not
or
a.
week 4.
It's just okay.
Texans are second in their division. Doesn't mean they're gonna be. We've still got Texans at you, gross, and they're second in their division.
But
then we
to
were
be a
just
good
saying about
challenger,
how
you can't be
bad.
last.
And you can't have a quarterback that you've just called trash multiple times.
Yeah, but you guys are missing the whole point. There's 52 good players on that team. There's one bad player. Yes, he's the quarterback.
Yeah, but he's a pretty important one bad player.
Yeah, he is. But I would still say that they have a chance with him winning whatever they want. Remember, they won 11 games last year with him.
He's a whole year older, a whole year fatter.
I mean, you guys can. It's 2 against 1. You guys can do whatever you want with the Steelers and meme about it. But we could have put the Green Bay Packers all the way down for Aaron Rodgers being complete dog shit as well.
Oh, he's coming
Same
straight
thing.
for straight for Aaron.
but that's the thing.
Fire,
like,
man.
because you guys are not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying that the Steelers are a good team. They just have a shit quarterback.
Oh, I know. I told you. I do think that this team has the potential. It's just the quarterback is the
Okay,
essence of this
but
team,
then
and there's
then let's
nothing.
say, do you think Nick Foles is a good quarterback? He's quarterback 3, but he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Remember, the quarterback is not everything. You just have to have a semi-competent quarterback to get you through the, like, you can just have an average ass quarterback and excellent everywhere across the field and win whatever you want. You don't
I get
have to
that. No, I
have
get that.
Kyler Murray or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. You can have an average quarterback. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for a quarterback. They are an excellent team, par Ben Roethlisberger, in every single
Yeah.
part of the field. They haven't been
I mean,
blown out yet.
yeah, no, it's true. I mean, Bengals 24. What was it? 24-10 is still not pretty, but I agree with you. I mean, it is a team that you. I never said that you needed a Kyler Murray or anything. I just, if you have someone that can not throw the ball when he's mid falling, and then can run the ball, and then stop just
Sure,
looking at Chase Claypool and send like
sure.
overthrown passes.
This is on the Steelers front office and the Steelers coaching that they keep putting Ben Roethlisberger in there. Like and it's also on Ben mostly because if he should be saying, "Look, I'm not good enough for this team. I'll happily be a leadership role, but I should
Yeah.
not be starting for this team." Like, you're however many years old. Like, he needs to be gone. Not from the Steelers, but from the starting lineup. He needs to be gone. And it doesn't matter. Dwayne Haskins can't be as bad. He just can't be. Mason Rudolph just can't be as bad. Like, you're either going to have just as bad or you're going to have better. The thing is, you're not winning games with Big Ben. Something's got to change. And the only issue is the quarterback. If you throw an interception from your 20-yard line and give it to them on your 40-yard line, like, you're never going to win a game. Just simple as that.
But right now, there's no indication that they're benching Big Ben, right?
I have no idea. I haven't followed what has been said this week by any of the Steelers front office.
So,
I doubt it.
I mean, I haven't seen anything on Twitter or to suggest that. You did say, though, a potential trade, or there's not been a mention of a trade. Is there a quarterback you potentially would quite like to see them go for?
I would ask for Deshaun Watson if I were them.
Would they have
more than enough players to trade for Deshaun Watson. They have more than enough draft picks. I say this every single time. If you put Deshaun Watson in this team, they're instantly one of the favorites for the Super Bowl. Instantly. 110%.
That would be quite exciting.
No, I would agree.
Yeah.
That's why right now, like, I'm looking at even the name of the tier. They're not a good challenger with Big Ben there, just because first of all you're at the end of the division, so
you can put them down if you want. You can put them down. It's your guys' choice. I already said where I'm going to put it. It's up to you two now.
True. What do you think, Seb?
I don't know. I don't know, because initially I think I was agreeing with you, Gabbo, but I think Dan has made some good points in that we have seen bad quarterbacks win Super Bowls. So I think it depends on how you feel that the rest of that team is put together, and I do still think that outside of Ben, they have got good skill positions. They are still solid defensively. I'm willing to give Ben one more week.
I mean, I'll wait that week. I mean, they're going to Lambeau and we're gonna smack him.
Let's see how he does against the Packers. I think if they lose again.
By the way, if the Packers lose to the Steelers, they're going in trash of the week.
Yeah.
110%. After everything Gabbo has said about this, Green Bay, although they should have been in trash of the week 1, they'll be going in week 4 as well.
Fair enough.
I'm totally down with that. That's absolutely fine by me.
Water bet. Let's do this.
Okay, so
yeah.
Are we gonna say?
Yeah, no, never mind. Let's leave the Steelers there for now.
Yeah. I think we talked about
after the Packers. Just curious. Broncos.
I mean,
hopefully you guys get your
first easy game.
First home win. Hopefully the Steelers can get that. They haven't won at home, huh?
No, they lost back-to-back games. Yeah.
Yeah. Rough.
Also, I want to say one more thing about the Steelers is they haven't been, like, all the games have been relatively close that they could have won. Like, the Raiders game was super close. It was just so frustrating. And the Bengals game was just self-inflicted bullshittery. Also mentioned TJ Watt was out, and so was their starting defensive end. So they didn't even have their, like, first team going at Joe Burrow. Not to make excuses for them. I'm just saying, like, Steelers are.
No, I
Sounds
get it. I mean,
sounds
look,
like excuses to me.
No, I mean,
I'm not a hater on this.
it's kind of like saying you've got a bad kicker in your team, Seb.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a hater of the Steelers. There are a few teams that I hate, including the Vikings, because they cost me money 3 times already.
Right.
But the Steelers, they're a team that I like watching. And I agree with you. I would love to have a good quarterback there.
Yeah.
Would love it if we can get some nice action with Chase Claypool, Juju, Deontay.
Yeah.
On top of Najee Harris, that defense, like it's just
it's insane.
know,
It's
I
an
love to have
insane team. It's just because the ball goes in the hands of Ben every single play.
Yep.
It's so limited, so limiting. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens.
Right.
I'm sure they'll get smashed by Green Bay. I'm almost 1,000% certain. But I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll get like vintage, like 25-year-old Ben Roethlisberger. We'll go
Just
for like
out of nowhere.
400 or 500 yards, and like, yeah, it would be funny. It'd be typical of the Steelers. Like, they have to win this game, or like there's gonna be firings and sackings and all this kind of stuff. And then Big Ben comes out and puts up like the game of his
saves
life.
the day.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, we can have Big Ben for another year now that we've beaten Green Bay. So that's what I expect from this week.
I'm surprised that the Steelers haven't popped up at all in Deshaun Watson trade rumors, like at all. Surely they must realize that Big Ben is old and fat. Like they're gonna have to do something about him at some point.
The thing with the Steelers is a lot of front offices are very, very leaky, such as the Texans. They have probably the worst kept secrets in all of football. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are very much like secretive, won't talk about anything. There's going to be no leaks to the press and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why it's possible there could be a trade going down, but they're just not one of those teams that openly talks to the media. Like the Texans are the worst in the league for that. So, yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay,
we have about 30-40 minutes to hopefully get through this and talk about the Bengals.
Yes.
So we're good with a good challenger. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Cowboys. I wouldn't be opposed to moving them up a tier, but if you guys want to keep it there for another week, it's fine. They're playing at home.
Let's see how they do against 3-0 Panthers.
Okay, I agree.
Let's
I
see.
agree. Perfect. Ravens. I would leave them. I mean,
Yeah.
they had an iffy, weird game against the Lions, but still think they're a good team.
Yeah, I would leave this entire tier exactly as it is. No one super
Same.
impressed me. No one super let me down.
Yeah, like Cardinals were.
Yeah, they were good.
They were
did
close. They were close to letting me down very badly, but they managed to come back and crush
They got the
it.
job done.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine
the
by
job done.
me. Like, and the Titans didn't blow anyone away. The Browns were pretty decent. Baltimore were all right as well. So, they were saved. They were saved. The Ravens were saved by the greatest kicker of all time. So they were very close to being.
Honestly, that was
Nuts.
ridiculous. Like,
Nuts.
Yeah.
Is that ever gonna get beaten? Like,
No.
not for a long time.
No.
I feel eventually there's gonna be some weird, like in 20 years in the future when people are taking mad drugs or something to give themselves crazy steroid enhancements.
Or when global warming creates more wind.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, you're going to be hitting 100-yard field goals. But for now, like, that's not going to get beaten for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I really don't think it is.
How can he? Oh man, I almost lost to the guy playing with Justin Tucker because it was a typical like standard ESPN points where a 50-yarder is 5 points and anything above is 6 points. That was like
Yeah.
touchdown worth.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate those leagues. I'm actually PSA. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm gonna do a league next year. I'm gonna I forgot the word. A commission one myself. No kickers.
I'm
Screw
in one of
kickers.
those. I have
Wow.
one where there's no kickers and no defense. It's just
No
running
kickers.
back.
What I
Oh,
wanna
okay.
do.
Yeah.
What I want to do is make it more interesting for the draft order. I think we talked about it with Dan. We're gonna do a size of PP, and then we'll the guy that has more confidence, he's gonna step up and be like, I got the largest D. Perfect. You are last. I never said what size. But no. I do want
wow.
to do like a little, whether it's I saw this Instagram post where they did like a little like 100-meter dash. But obviously if we're online, then I'll do something online, and then whoever wins, first they get to pick where they want to go. So it's not like whoever wins
Oh,
gets first, but they get
okay.
to pick. So
I like
I
that.
hate first pick. Hate it. I don't like that pressure. But yeah. So I'm gonna do something interesting. We'll see what we do. All right. Last but not least, there's not a lot to chat about here. My thoughts are put the Chiefs all the way at the bottom and move the Rams up against the Bucks.
I'd put the Rams above the Bucks, and I'd put Kansas City one place down.
I think I would agree with Dan on that one.
Hey,
we just swear here.
Come on.
I mean, are we forgetting that the Green Bay put up like 3 points against the Saints? And we're not competitive. Let's put it this way: Kansas City are competitive even in their losses. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers literally said "fuck it," and
Kansas City didn't come back from a loss with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, but they now have the same record, Green Bay and KC, no?
Yeah.
The Packers have a better record.
The Packers 2-1.
2-1, and Chiefs are 1-2, guys. They're bottom of the conference. They're not. I mean, I'm not saying they're a bad team, but come on, don't do me like this.
Put the Rams up. Put the Rams up because the Rams are going up. Because I think the Rams.
I mean, they beat the Bucks, so
they look hella good. Matt Stafford in that offense. Cooper Kupp. Oof, if you got Cooper Kupp in fantasy this year, my God, is he going to be wide receiver 1 end of the year?
Yeah,
it looks like it.
Him and Mike Williams, dude. Him and Mike Williams.
Yeah, because Tyreek Hill does not look like him and Mahomes are quite good going yet. I think I picked him as my wide receiver 1 in one of my leagues, and I've not been hugely impressed with him just yet.
Yeah.
I personally would still leave KC above Green Bay.
Chiefs lost at home with a last-minute, a complete dismantling. Ravens came back in their own home in Arrowhead, and then they lost at home again against the Chargers. Oh wait, actually no, the Ravens were in Baltimore. But this at home against the Chargers, which is really not pretty. And the Packers just keep winning against away in San Fran.
Dan?
And you mentioned the record 1-2, 2-1. I mean, this is the team, the leader of the NFC West North, sorry, and the bottom of their division. I just don't see it, guys. I mean, I love when do these match up against? Because I know they do. I think that was the last week, maybe. I believe they added this as the last. Whatever, we'll never know. I don't want to keep scrolling. But why do the Chiefs look better than the Packers based on their 3 games? And if you say the Saints first week, I'm gonna shoot you.
I think
so in the first week against the Saints.
Huh?
I think they have a better defense. Green Bay doesn't really have that good a defense at all.
I disagree. I don't think either of these teams have a great defense anyway, but I do believe the Packers' defense has been better. Again, Saints game aside, I know we got demolished. I'll take that. That was week 1. We've made improvements. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 2 for 1, so I ain't got no much to do
I'll
here.
move Green Bay above for this week before they lose against the Steelers and go to trash of the week
at home. Yeah.
So yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
I was mostly taking a long time because I know you were squirming around in your chair trying to convince me. I just enjoyed it.
Screw you. Oh my goodness. All right, boys. Well, I mean, I like that. Let's talk a little bit about the Rams again. That was what a great game to watch. First of all.
Oh, what a game! What a game!
I know, Dan, you and I keep trash talking everyone that took quarterback early because you have who is it that you have? Ryan
Matthew
Tannehill, was it? No.
Matthew
Matthew
Stafford in the
Stafford.
11th round.
And I had Tom Brady at the 10th and plus 20
Yeah,
points back to back to back. Like
I took Lamar Jackson early-ish. I mean, in whatever. I mean, not earlier than he should have gone. He was around his ADP, but I am sort of wishing I went with the wait for a late QB tactic.
Yeah.
Considering I think in my 3 leagues, my combined record is 2-7.
Oh, nice.
yikes.
So
Yep,
let's go
it's
to
going
Seb
well.
for some fantasy advice now. Speaking of fantasy, though,
yeah.
can you share your trade with us now?
Okay, so this is on our League of Nations league. He actually messaged me just now with a potential alteration, but the piece that I was going for was George Kittle. That was my main piece that I was going for.
That's what I was going for as well.
I thought it might have been. So I basically I'm probably giving up a bit more than I need to, but I have fairly decent running back depth. So I didn't mind giving him an extra running back. So the potential trade was going to be I would be giving up Noah Fant, Robert Woods, Chuba Hubbard, and Damian Harris for George Kittle, Deontay Johnson, and James Conner.
I think you win that pretty easily.
Yeah, I was gonna. I really like the first 2 players I mentioned. James Conner, not a big fan, but he did put up good points this week. So I don't know with that offense, but I do think you're just baiting the hell out of him with Hubbard, Chuba. You know, he's gonna be gone in a week.
To be fair, he does have McCaffrey, so he then has the handcuff to McCaffrey, which benefits him. He's obviously getting the extra player as well. He then came back to me and said he wanted Julio instead of Robert Woods.
No.
And I said yes, but if I give you Julio, you have to give me James Robinson. But I don't think he's going to take that. if I end up getting James Robinson as well, then I'd be absolutely delighted. But
I think
I'm not sure if he's going to bite for it.
I think Julio is a player that you can trade for pretty cheaply. It'll get you a lot of rewards right now. AJ Brown sidelined. Julio's probably gonna get sidelined, and even if it does play, I feel like they're gonna be like, it's the Jets. We don't need to risk these 2 guys. Let's just give him a week. But Julio and Ryan are looking fire. I know they had another kind of like it was a bad air game anyway, but both were banged up. But I feel like AJ's getting the pressure of having Julio on the other side, and Ryan is noticing that and throwing it more to Julio. I mean, Julio's catches are insane.
He's still so good, and this is why I think if he wants Julio instead of Robert Woods, I think you need to give me something more on what I mean. It's not you can't get better than Kittle. I think Deontay's his best wide receiver. So I think you have to give me something more from the running back, and it's either James Robinson or Joe Mixon, and I don't think I want to give up Joe Mixon.
If you're getting James Robinson, you're going to want to start him tonight, so you have like 20
minutes. I'm needing him to reply like now.
Would you start him?
Yeah, there's no other running back for Jags. It's going to be a huge night.
Yeah. And then my starting 3 running backs would be Chubb, Taylor, and Robinson, which I think is pretty nice. But yeah, I just need to know in the near future. What did you offer, just out of curiosity, you two?
What did I offer? I offered damn, I have it.
What about you, Dan?
I wanted to Kittle as well, and I offered him Mattison. I offered him Will Fuller, and I also offered Jared Cook, just for George Kittle, and he didn't want it. He didn't even message me afterwards. He just
just like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, me neither. He rejected mine. I gave him.
I also asked the other guy, who has
Is it feast
TJ.
mode?
Yeah, for TJ
I
Hawkinson.
tried for TJ as well. Actually, yeah.
He just replied "lol" and that was it. Declined and said "lol."
What did you offer for TJ?
I think I offered the exact same package as I did the other one.
Right.
But yeah.
So what did I? Because yeah, for TJ, I offered Harris, Hubbard, and Fant for Gordon and Hawkinson, and he said nah. He did message me. He said, "Oh, what did he say?" He said he would only give up TJ for if I offered him Jackson, Chubb, or Jefferson. I was like, nah.
Yeah, not worth it.
Jackson?
Nah. Lamar.
Oh, Lamar.
Doesn't he have Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, he's got Mahomes. That's what I do. What are you
Weird.
gaining from that? Yeah. So yeah, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna get that. So
I
yeah, what did you offer?
Yeah, I sent OBJ and Sermon for DeAndre Swift. See what he baited and nothing.
No.
But
Interesting.
Cool.
I mean, Trey Sermon is gonna be the key there until Jeff Wilson comes back, and even then. But OBJ, he has the passes, he has the touches. I know Dan is not a big fan, but I
not
do
that I'm
think
not a
whichever
big
side
fan. It's just like I haven't seen anything from OBJ since he was in the Browns.
I mean, he had a good comeback day, so we'll see if he makes up for that.
How many points did he get?
Building on it. I believe like 12, something like that, without touchdowns, which is okay. I mean, you got a few, I think 7 targets, 6 catches, something like that. And DeAndre Swift is kind of like a hit or miss. So I was like, you know what, I'll see. I think it's a pretty fair trade.
I think he's number 3 running back, DeAndre Swift, at the minute.
Yeah.
I think.
He's a pass catcher as well, though, so that's why. I think something like 17% of his
he's number 3
snaps are as a wide receiver or something. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he's had 11 targets, 5 targets, 7 targets. So yeah, again with the Lions actually being better than expected, he's benefiting somewhat. So yeah, I need to know what the result of this is going to be in the next 20 minutes. So hopefully he gets back to me. But I'm trying to rescue this because I'm 0-3, bottom of the pile. Like, it's not.
You gotta do something. You gotta do something.
Yeah, something's gotta happen. Yeah,
man. I'm just an FYI. I'm the only unbeaten person left. 3-0.
You are. Well done, my friend. Yeah. I think I was actually having a look at your team. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, with Darrell Henderson on the IR, not IR, he's out in that column, so I've still got him to come back as well.
The thing is, I don't think I necessarily drafted badly. Again, yeah, Lamar should have been good. He's just not really kicked on this year again. Jonathan Taylor was well hyped. He's not really done much. Julio, again, he's not really got going. So yeah,
you could explode at the right time. If you just make playoffs, you could explode at the right time. That's why
I'm hoping. Yeah,
regular season doesn't mean anything. I don't
just got to get into playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? I won it last year, so I don't care this year. I've won it once. So
I was so bad last year. I was terrible. To be fair, Saquon Barkley, my first round pick, was like out week 1. So,
that is tough.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah. And that is the season done.
Yeah, exactly. It was GG's then.
Yeah,
should we talk a bit of our betting? I think all 3 of us have played. Have you placed a bet tonight, Seb, or you just wait till the weekend?
I was going to put something on tonight, but I wanted to wait until this discussion so that I could then see what you guys were putting on, and then maybe
put
make
on
a little
big. What was it, like 31-1 parlay?
Yeah.
Parlay.
What have you put?
Let's hear it.
31-1. Okay, so let's start it off. I have. And the thing is, I can't pull it back because it was a free bet. So
you're locked in.
You're in.
Yeah.
I have Tyler Boyd over 5.5 receptions. Joe Burrow with at least 1 interception, so 0.5, 0.5 interceptions in the match. Money line Bengals. Over 39.5 for the whole game. James Robinson points, yeah. James Robinson to score a touchdown, and Jamar Chase over 70.5 receiving yards. That's
a lot to
one.
ask for.
That is a lot to ask for. I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of
It's
imagination
not.
to
It's
come
definitely
through.
not. It's just like a lot of criteria to be met. Like I think all of them are very, very doable, but it's just whether they all come together as one.
So I know Jamar Chase is the the typical sprinted and get those big touchdowns. I mean, the guy's scoring like 20 plus points with 4 receptions.
Yeah.
So it's the 70.5 is definitely doable if he has a couple bumps, and then with the slant being with Tyler Boyd, it's fairly doable. I mean, the guy averages 6 receptions per game anyway, so he can definitely do it again. It really does come down to how far ahead they get early. Because if they do, then I'm screwed.
Yeah. You want this to be a tight game.
I want this to be a tight game. I do want James Robinson to score a touchdown. And yeah, I mean, I want the 40 points, the Bengals to win in Cincinnati, which is pretty, kind of like the center. So doable, absolutely. I think the most tricky one, the one I'm going to suffer the most with, is Joe Burrow throwing an interception. In his last 3 games, he's had 1 interception, and none. So the odds are in my favor.
But are the Jags defense?
They intercepted Kyler Murray last week and scored a touchdown with it.
True. That's a good point. Yeah, true.
So the odds are definitely in my favor. And if they are, I'm buying myself a new microphone, a new camera.
How much did you put on?
$10 to win. Well, it's a free bet, so it's $10 and I win 330, I believe it is.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, my friend.
That's good.
And then my other one, which is I put another one, a smaller one, to like accompany it, and I believe. If you guys can give me 2 freaking seconds. Here we go. Jamar Chase over 4.5 receptions. Again, moneyline Bengals over 41.5 points, so just an extra 2 more points. Joe Burrow. This is the one that Dan and I keep saying we don't like betting the under, but it just seemed a bit too inflated. So Joe Burrow under 30.5 passing attempts. Last game he had 18 passing attempts. Yeah. So again, if they get far ahead.
Yeah,
and if they get ahead, they'll just start running. So this is my assumption that the Bengals are going to win the game, and then Marvin Jones to score a touchdown.
Nice.
So
Marvin Jones. To be fair, Marvin Jones hasn't been bad this far this season.
He's been scoring touchdowns too. So, so yeah, that is 23-1.
Nice.
So
let's hope.
Ooh! I've had a message back about my trade. I think. Ooh. Sorry, keep going. I may have jumped the gun here. He said proposed. But it hasn't come through yet. But I think I might be getting James Robinson.
Nice. Better be quick.
Where is it?
I want to compare your drafted team with what you have now after this.
Oh, it's definitely.
That's a good point. How do I do that? Is there a way you can do that?
I don't think so.
It would be actually. I can go through my. Can I see my complete? I can see my completed trains actually.
No, you can. You can just click on week 1 and it'll show you your score. And
that's true actually. Yeah. I'm waiting for it to come through. Dan, what have you got on bet-wise? Just while that's coming through.
I was very close to putting a lot on the Bengals. I think the line actually moved while we were talking. I think it's only 6.5 now, -6.5 for Cincinnati. So, for whatever reason, the money has decided that the Jags are better than what we thought earlier. So I would have loved to have taken that like under a touchdown. That's pretty good. But I went with a player prop this time just because I wasn't too sure, and the odds are a lot higher than 2-1. So I did James Robinson and Joe Mixon both over 50 rushing yards, which is really good because I was worried about James Robinson, and now that he's the sole back, he surely must be getting over 50 rushing yards. And I also did Jamar Chase and Marvin Jones over 50 receiving yards. So both 50s, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. It was 4-1. I think it's pretty doable. It's not really asking a lot from either. It's not like I'm asking for 100 yards or 75 yards. I mean, 50 yards is just
Pretty manageable,
fairly low for two sets of players who are like the main cast for their teams. So that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully, it'll come in. So we'll see. It'll set me up nicely for the weekend. Let me put it that way. It'll make up for my Champions League mishaps.
Yeah, Champions League was awful the other night. Yeah, not good.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gabbo.
Oh, I was just gonna say to add to the pressure only. So you said you needed 50 yards from James Robinson?
Yeah.
Rush?
50 rushing, yes.
Oh, I was gonna do rush yards for James Robinson as well.
I know what his stats say. There's only one out of the last 3 games he's been over 50.
Oh, James Robinson?
Yeah.
That one. But I was gonna say the opposing defense is what scares me. So the last 3 weeks, these are the last 3 rushing yards. Najee Harris, 40 yards rush. Montgomery, 34 yards. And then the only one was Dalvin Cook in the first year, which was an overtime win as well.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Good luck.
We'll see, I guess.
So I've got I'm using a slightly different betting app. So I don't think I've got exactly the same as what Dan has, but I am seeing there's one on here, Jamar Chase, 50 plus receiving yards and 1+ touchdown, and Joe Mixon, 50 plus rushing yards and 1+ touchdown, 4-1. That is somewhat interesting me.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. So 1+ means 1 or more.
So at least a touchdown.
I'll be back.
1 touchdown each.
I'm just gonna be back in a second, boys.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, that's one that's interesting me. As I say, the app that I'm using is slightly different. So I don't have the like the rushing options that Dan has, because I really like those. Unfortunately, like if I wanted
what
to.
website are you using?
So I'm using Betfair. I think he uses Sky Bet. I think I might need to get on Sky Bet because it sounds like they're better for NFL. Because for James Robinson for rushing, where is he? The over/under is 62.5. So
I'm just worried because this is all assuming that the Bengals are gonna take the lead. So I feel like they're gonna use James Robinson in a more of a passing capacity, which won't count your rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you have maybe receiving and rushing yards 80.5, then might be something.
Yeah, is there a so I have receptions, but I don't have do I have hang on. James Robinson rushing and receiving over under is 88.5.
88?
Yeah, for James Robinson.
I mean, he is the only running guy. Like he's literally the only
guy, yeah.
running force that they have. And Najee put up a ton of points against the Bengals in pure receiving yards.
True.
Not rush yards. So
and Joe Mixon's...
If I'm putting money on James Robinson, it would be both rush and receiving, if possible.
Joe Mixon's rushing and receiving is 104.5. That seems a
Joe
lot.
Mixon owner, I love that. But
Dan, what do you think about this? James Robinson rushing and receiving over under of 88.5.
I like that. I think it's gonna be used a lot tonight, if I'm honest with you. We do have a question in the chat, by the way, guys. They're saying
what's the
Goddard, Higbee, or no season-long PPR. I don't know if he's asking for who do you think is better, Goddard or Higbee. I would have to go with Goddard, I think, at this point. He seems to be getting a lot of targets in Philadelphia.
I think Higbee had a great game. Don't get me wrong, but I do think if you're talking about long season, I think Goddard will definitely get you there, especially PPR.
Yeah, I think Goddard has a lower floor, and Higbee has a lot. I mean, sorry, lower floor, and then Higbee could have 1 point, 2 points, but he can also have 13 or 14. I think Goddard is always kind of like that steady, 7+ points per game. So I would always go for Goddard. I know he has competition with Zach Ertz, especially with Zach Ertz being kind of like the end zone target at the moment, but yeah, that's who I would go with.
Trade offer has been received. Harris, Hubbard, Jones, and Fant for Robinson, Deontay Johnson, and Kittle.
You may as well just switch each other's teams around.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think I'd do it though.
Yeah, I
Thing
mean,
is,
that's what you're saying.
Again, I'm banking on Kittle.
Okay, bro. Do you know what dealing in bad faith is?
What?
You declining that because he gave you what you wanted.
That's
what you
true.
asked.
Yeah, that's what I asked for. Yeah. No, I think again, it's not been working for me so far this season.
Do it.
Let's do
honestly,
some.
whenever I'm the low,
Quickly put him in the
Whenever I'm low,
lineup. Quickly.
It's done. It's done.
yeah, dude,
Nice.
you have 9 minutes.
I'll go push that
you
through
gotta
quickly if you want.
Yep.
You execute that. Oh
think
god damn!
If I were dead last, I'd be looking at my first pick and trade him away.
I think my first pick was Chubb, who's actually probably been my. I'm tempted to have a look at.
Oh, trade Chubb away and get another running back and wide receiver that you can start.
What?
Nothing.
He's dropping. Are you about to say about him dropping Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might try and add him as well.
I mean, he's probably going to be on waivers.
He is on
better not be
waivers.
free.
Yeah, he's gonna be waivers. Yeah. Yeah, yes. I can still claim him on Saturday though. Is he worth picking up?
Over day. It's just because you can't. You don't have spots, do you?
No, I'm. Oh no, I will have a spot because I'm dropping 4.
So why did you drop? Why did you drop James
Conner?
Conner?
No, he's dropping James Conner
Why?
because he's picking up 4 players from me.
Oh.
Why didn't you just ask for James Conner back in the trade then?
Yeah, actually.
Oh shit, that's a good point. Actually, who's gonna drop him? Yeah, shit, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Oh shit, I did not think about that.
You're gonna get him anyway because you're bottom of the league, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I wouldn't stress.
Does that go through on Saturday though?
Yeah, we'll go through on Saturday.
Oh, it is done. Woo!
It doesn't flip
Right.
after the waiver
Kittle.
wire from Tuesday?
I don't
Wednesday?
think so.
Robinson.
I don't think
So now I have to make a choice about my wide receiver.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
my
we have-
options.
Okay, go.
No, I was just gonna say my options are DJ Chark, Deontay Johnson, Robert Woods, Devontae Smith.
I think you can bet Devonta Smith there.
Yeah, the only thing is obviously KC have not been good defensively. I think they've given up the third
But
most
the Eagles
yards.
haven't been good offensively.
But that's the other issue. Robert Woods hasn't really got going yet.
No, he hasn't. He has not. Man.
I do think you should put DJ Chark, so I would play him.
Yeah,
this
I
week.
would too.
And if you do, make sure you don't put him in your flex. But
No, I've got Robinson as my flex. Is that a bad move?
Don't put a Thursday player on your flex, because then you won't have the option of putting either wide receiver or running back later.
Actually, I'm gonna put Jonathan. I'm gonna put Jonathan Taylor because he's still questionable right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you already want these players to start, then you shouldn't put them on your flex anyway. It's just it blocks you. You know, like what if one of your running backs goes out, goes out, and you can't play a wide receiver on top of him instead of a.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to find another running back to do it. But yeah, that was my take. All right, so we have 6 minutes till kickoff. I'm actually gonna start putting the TV on.
We haven't really talked about this game at all.
I mean, we did betting wise.
I need to put this bet on as well.
We're talking about. Okay, I'm assuming we all think Bengals are gonna take this game at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honestly super happy for the Bengals, 3-1 after a few years of being at the bottom. I don't think the Jags have anything really to offer. But yeah, fantasy wise, I would start the Tyler Boyds, Jamar Chase,
Joe Mixon and James Robinson both.
Joe Mixon, James Robinson, T Higgins. I believe is out.
Yeah, he is.
Perfect for me. Tyler Boyd. On the other side, Marvin Jones is a good play. I think, it might even be just a garbage time touchdown.
Yeah.
where they put the second defense and then see what happens. So
Yeah.
I think it's a high scoring game.
Yeah.
From both sides.
Yeah, I think one of these games, Trevor Lawrence is really going to click, and that's why I was really against putting the -6.5 or -7 against putting -7 for Cincinnati, because I just have a feeling, man, he was supposed to be a once in a generation player, quarterback, and he showed that in college that he was exceptional. It's just a matter of time before he manages to win. So I wanted to stay away from money line. I wanted to stay away from spread. Just put it on the players and hope for a good game.
So what do you think the Jags need?
They're just a young team. I remember this is
They
the
just need
first time.
time. They need time.
This is the first time Urban Meyer's coached a NFL team. It's the first time Trevor Lawrence has stepped on an NFL field. It's the two most important parts of a team is the coach and the quarterback, and they're both very, very new to this. So you need to give this project a whole load of time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think they're going to be good in a couple years. They're a bit worse than I thought they would be right now, but that's what a lot of teams are going through right now. That they're either a lot worse or a lot better than they thought they were going to be. So yeah. So should we wrap it up then? There's only 4 minutes of the game. I want to get my dinner ready. I want to get everything
actually,
done.
let's do that. Yeah.
Gabo's disappeared. He's already gone.
He's out.
No, I'm here. I can hear you guys.
Alright, cool.
Making sure I don't miss kick off.
Let's leave it. Should we have just last final predictions? We're all saying Bengals. Anyone want to throw a score out there? Margin of victory?
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Jaguars to win by. No, Jaguars plus 7.5. If that's the spread right now, I'd go Jaguars plus 7.5. So I think it's gonna be a tighter game than we're expecting. As a score, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Scores in NFL are so difficult because there's like so many factors and numbers. That's why I think like winning margin or difference in scores is the way to go. So yeah, I would go Jaguars plus 7.5.
Yeah, for me, it's just a matter of like tossing a coin, flipping, and just randomly put a score.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll go 34-20.
Nice. Oh, nice and high scoring. I like that.
Yeah, I will go 31-10. I don't think the Jags are gonna.
Wow.
I don't think they're gonna show up
today.
today.
They're dropping.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Packers on their opening night.
Yeah.
Actually, not as bad. Not nearly as bad.
Yeah, that's still not as bad.
It's almost like the Steelers last week. God damn.
Steelers put up points there, to be fair.
Before these two start just having a lot of bitch fight, let's leave it at that. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in again. We will be hopefully back next Thursday, plus or minus me, not sure yet. But let's hope we enjoy some good Thursday night football. We'll hopefully be back this weekend as well for some more videos. But for now, peace.
Peace.